Hey guys, be sure to check out the Mortar Pod, our weekly video podcast, and also check out the tutorial video for my board game, Travelers of Storia. Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, and we're doing another Swiss M15 Draft. Open Sliver Hive, not that good of a card. Gotten Soul Artifact. I haven't done that archetype yet. Into the Void, which is very good. A Cursed Spirit, Child of Night, Midnight Guard, Netcaster Spider, Peel. Cathar's good too. So I'm looking at, I think, Soul Artifact, Into the Void, Netcaster Spider, Cursed Spirit. Netcaster Spider is pretty good. Seems like a pretty safe first pick since it's just a really nice card to have. Holds down the fort exceptionally well. It's probably the safer pick. And Soul Artifact's cool. I'm not really into the Soul Artifact deck all that much, even though I've lost to it. Into the Void is very strong too. Bouncing 2 dudes. I'm going to take the Spider. I like Into the Void a lot. I like the safety and security of the Spider. Alright, well, I mean, Silverback, Siege Worm, Sunblade Elf, pretty good. I think Sunblade Elf might be worth just taking here. I mean, it kind of commits me a little bit towards white, as you can see, but that's a really strong ability. That guy can clean up on some games. So I think we're going to go Sunblade Elf over the other 2 guys in green that are also very good. Alright, so now there's a Flesh to Dust, there's a Return to the Ranks, a Raise the Alarm, Living Totem. I think Raise the Alarm might get the go-ahead here. I like Living Totem, I like Return to the Ranks. And Pillar of Light's good too. But Raise the Alarm's got the best synergy with this Sunblade Elf. And if we're in green, we can find, maybe quite a few Convoke guys. I like the Flesh to Dust too, but getting past the Raise the Alarm just seems right with Sunblade Elf. And green-white typically is a nice little combo, a little 1-2 punch. Alright, Pillar of Light versus Charging Rhino. Well, one's a good finisher, one is a good removal spell for fatties. If I pick up Pillar, it makes the Warden, the uncommon Warden dude, a little more playable too. I think green-white usually struggles for removal, which makes the Pillar of Light seem a bit more attractive. Especially since we already have 3 cards that are really good at locking down, early threats. I think Pillar is going to be a good way to get rid of some big fat fatties and mythics and finishers. I mean, think about it. Pillar of Light straight up gets rid of any of the soul guys, which is pretty nice actually. Charging Rhino is a good card though. I do like it. I think I'm going to take the Pillar instead. Get a little removal in colors that typically don't get a ton of removal. Alright, Shaman of Spring is a good card. There's plenty of good interactions with it, whether it be invasive species or roaring Primodox. It's just nice to get renewable card draw. Scavenger's in here too, but I can't imagine green-white's the deck for it. Meteorite's also okay since it's removal. Soulmender's actually good in this format because of the Johnny's Pride Mate, but let's hook up with the Shaman of Spring and continue on. Okay, so now we can take Shaman of Spring 2, but we can also take Ephemeral Shields. Currently we don't have anything we really want to protect with Ephemeral Shields. I guess Sunblade Elf is a good one to protect, but I usually like having one. I like the Shaman of Spring too, but I usually like having an Ephemeral Shields. It's a pretty nice card to have. If I end up with any sort of fatties, I'm going to be happy I have it. Alright, pretty nice pickup here. We'll get a Constricting Sliver. Some nice removal. Marked by Honor and Plummet also in here, and fine, but that's a pretty decent sign for white actually. 7th pick Sliver. It's pretty good. I'll take the Naturalize here, admittedly for sideboard, but I'm not really into Tireless Missionaries, and there's nothing else on color, so Naturalize is actually a nice card to have for sideboard. We don't have any other artifact or enchantment removal, and there's quite a few good artifacts and enchantments in M15. I guess we can take Sliver Hive. We have the Constricting Sliver, so technically, if we were to ever have the 2 out, you can, you know, make a Sliver and then it exiles something, so it's not bad. It's worth trying. Honestly, there's nothing else in here for us. Verdant Haven's okay too, actually, but yeah, let's do Sliver Hive. I'm okay with that. If we pick up any Venom Slivers too, it's another way to make some tokens. I've never played the Sliver Hive either, so it seems like it's okay. I think I'm going to hate the Fester Gloom here. I just really don't feel like Undergrowth Scavenger is a part of a deck like this. And I don't want to play Hunter's Ambush, so I'm going to hate the Fester Gloom because if we get any triplicate spirits or anything, I'm going to be really happy I got rid of that. I mean, it already kills, that kills a lot of our, I guess it doesn't kill much of what we've got now, but I plan on getting a lot of X1s. There's certainly a lot in white. Carrion Crow is the best card remaining here, so I think we're just going to hate that. In Garrick's Wake, it's a rare. It's pretty cool. Well, it looks like black's open, but I don't know if I don't know if black being open necessarily motivates me to want to move into it, because we still ended up decent. I guess we only got what, seven actual playables, but God, some of these are so good. There's Gather Courage, Invasive Species. Species works well with the Shaman, but I think we want Raise the Alarm number 2. Sticking with this Sunblade Elf plan. Raise the Alarm is just a phenomenal card in this format, and especially in green-white. I mean, I understand black was open, but if I get any green Convoke guys with double Raise the Alarm or another Sunblade Elf or something, this deck's going to be real good. Or Selfless Cathar. There's just so many good synergistic spells to go alongside Raise the Alarm and triplicate spirits and stuff like that. Cruel Sadist is good, however, and Invasive Species would be nice as well, but I think Raise the Alarm is just a really, really strong spell. Okay. So options now, we've got Hunt the Weak, which works well with Netcaster Spider, Shaman, kind of Sunblade Elf, Sliver to a certain extent, Geist of the Moors Flies, Elvish Mystic Ramps. I think we want the removal. Like I said, if we are going this green-white route, removal is going to be scarce. So you really want to make sure that you get enough. So I think I'm going to go with Hunt the Weak. Okay. So I could take a second Hunt. Can also take the Elvish Mystic now. We don't have a ton to ramp into, but it isn't, I mean, they're just nice to have. It's like free ramp, pretty much. I'm going to diversify. I'm going to take the Mystic this time over the Hunt the Weak. We need to make sure we get enough creatures, you know. Alright, Siege Worm's great. It's exactly what this deck wants with double Raise the Alarm. Also, I guess I need to keep in mind, our creature count's actually 7. So always add 2 more to our creature count because of the Raise the Alarms. Titanic Growth and Wall of Mulch are both playable too, but yeah, Siege Worm is just a slam dunk here. Oh my god, Stormtide Leviathan's so good. I guess we have Pillar for it, which is kind of nice. Carnivorous Moss Beast, just in case we're short on playables, it'd be nice to just make sure we pick some stuff up. Pick up enough things to finish the game. There's really not that much else for us here anyway. So we'll take the Moss Beast. I've played it before. I'm never really, thrilled about it, but alright. Primadox seems fine in here. We've got the Shaman for it. I guess there's not too much else that works well with it yet, but it's still early enough, and it works well with Hunt the Weak, so seems fine. Okay, Swiftclaw versus a second Shaman. I think we want the Swiftclaw. I want some cheap dudes. I want some more cheap dudes, for sure. It's a late Brood Keeper. It's a little bit worrisome. I guess we can take a second Ephemeral Shields. I don't really want a second Carnivorous Moss Beast, I don't think. I'm already hoping to cut the first one, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I guess we'll find out. Ranger's Guile versus Solemn Offering. I guess we already have the Naturalized, so let's take the Ranger's Guile. Unfortunately, I guess it does similar things to Ephemeral Shields, doesn't it? Well, I guess it also can be a combat trick, so there is that. Wall of Essence is a cheap spell. Oppressive Raise is okay. Let's take the Wall of Essence, I guess. It can be good against aggressive builds. I'd prefer to not main deck it. I think Scrapyard Mongrel is the best card, but we're going to take the Hot Soup for sideboard because there's a chance I sideboard into it. Alright, let's hate the Torch Fiend. We look okay. This deck still needs, I mean, we're at 11 creatures with the Raise the Alarm, so we need about 4 more creatures and then maybe just a couple more. I'd like to, I guess, upgrade a couple of the spells in here. I guess we can take Verdant Haven, it's alright. Not necessarily going to play it. That's a late Kirkesh. Surprised people don't want it. I think it's a fine card. Even if you're not using its ability, it's still fairly efficient red creature. So this deck needs a little bit of work, but I'm not terribly upset with it yet. I mean, we have white-green removal, which is good. Ooh, Court of Calling. Well, Court of Calling is actually really good. Finds creatures for us, works well with, it's going to reward us for all of our creatures, and it's worth a couple tickets, so it's actually just a very good open. Living Totem and Marked by Honor and Skirmisher are all fine too. Living Totem would be nice, but I'm going to take the Cord. Okay, so now it's Swiftclaw, Bear. I think I'd take Swiftclaw over Bear, although I guess that's debatable too, isn't it? 2 toughness in this format is actually pretty good, but I like the Swiftclaw a lot. It's very aggressive. Titanic Growth is a good trick too, but we need creatures, so I think it's just Bear versus Swiftclaw. I think we'll go with Swiftclaw. Alright, Feral Incarnation seems actually really nice for this deck. Even though we're a little bit short on creatures, admittedly, the Raise the Alarms really can help you power this card out, and I think it's a really good finishing card. Charging Rhino's fine too, but yeah, I actually like Feral Incarnation in this deck. Okay, Geist of the Moors, Wayfinder, Venom Sliver. I think we go Venom Sliver. We've got the Sliver Hive and the Constricting Sliver, so that's actually just really good synergy. It's going to buy us some time. I think that makes the most sense. Pegasus, Geist, Satyr, Wayfinder, they're all fine, but Venom Sliver, Sliver Hive actually makes sense. So we could take Meteorite since it's kind of removal. We can also take a second Primadox, but I'm not really feeling that. We didn't quite get enough into the battlefield effects to make me want to play the Primadox. I think I'm just going to take the Meteorite, and there's a decent chance that we end up playing it. Pillar of Light number 2. There's also Wall of Mulch. Wall of Mulch is certainly good at buying time. Multiple Pillar of Lights can definitely be awkward. I mean, sometimes one Pillar of Light can be awkward, but I think we'll just take the Wall of Mulch. It helps us power out our Convoke and helps us draw cards and stuff. We'll take it. You might be thinking, but, you know, it doesn't go along with the rest of our deck, but I don't know how beat down we are. We look like a deck that can be beat down, but we can also just be chill out until we get to our finishers. Because at this point, Mossbeast, Siegeworm, Feral Invocation's pretty good finisher counts. So let's take the Wall of Mulch, and then we're up to 23 cards at least. I think my first cut's going to be one of the Ephemeral Shields, if possible. Oppressive Raise, Soulmender. Soulmender doesn't look particularly good in here. Guess we'll take Oppressive Raise, but I admit I'm not really feeling that. You put it on a flyer and I guess it's okay. I don't think I'm taking anything else from here. I don't think I'm using Soulmender, for example, so I guess we'll just sideboard the Oppressive Rays. Plummet and Marked by Honor. You know, I probably play Marked by Honor, to be honest, so let's cut an Ephemeral Shield, and we'll take the Marked by Honor. We don't have a ton of flying outs, but we do have the Spider, we have a Hunt, and we have a Meteorite, and a Sliver, so we have like a few ways to take it out. Let's take the Marked by Honor. Best card here is probably the Shrapnel Blast. Is just a little bit too difficult to play, so I'm not worried about that. And Crust, I guess, is pretty good. Not great, but probably the most playable out of those. All right, Midnight Guard's actually a great late pickup for us, because we're likely going to play that. Get more. Oh, we're probably going to play it. So I should cut something for that, but I'll figure that out. Maybe the Ranger's Guile at this point. Just need the Ephemeral Shields. Don't really need the Ranger's Guile. Here, none of these cards matter. I think I'll just take the Hot Soup again. Take a second one, whatever. Solemn Offering, good sideboard. Just in case. Alright. So I think our deck's pretty much made. Sideboard the Ranger's Guile. We've got a 16 creature deck. We've got decent finishers, some decent removal. Court of Calling is nice with all the cheap stuff. Yeah, this deck looks alright. I'm finally going to be able to try out this Sliver Hive thing, which I've been meaning to try out. You know, on a stalled board state, spitting out slivers that exile or have Death Touch seems pretty good. So into the battlefield effects for Primadox. I guess we only ended up with Shaman of Spring, didn't we? Is that the only one? That can't be right. Sliver, kind of, but not really. I think that's still fine, hopefully, because we have probably enough cheap creatures to still make Primadox pretty good, pretty efficient. This deck's alright. I don't think it's terrible. I think the shortcoming of it is... What is the shortcoming of this deck? I'm not exactly sure. I think it's a bit underwhelming on the creature front. Not that the creatures we have are terrible, because also I guess Feral Incarnation counts as a creature, so really we have like 17 creatures. 17 creature cards, you know? So our removal, Pillar, Hunt, Meteorite, Constricting Sliver, that's, you know, that's satisfactory. It's not great, but having 4, you know, like decent removal spells is usually what you want to be. Marked by Honor seems fine in here. Makes some of our guys a little bit better threats. Yeah, this deck's alright. It's not that bad. Wall of Essence is an option because we have the double Wall of Mulch, but I don't think we need to main deck it. So, yeah, I'd rate this deck at about 6, 6.5, something like that. I mean, it's certainly better than the last draft deck we had, but it's not like hugely better, I don't think. I am very intrigued by the Sliver Hive, Constricting Sliver, Venom Sliver thing, so at least we have something like that going on. That should be fun to look at. Let's sort by color here. So we're much more green than white, and we do have the triple green for Court of Calling. Jeez. What do they suggest? We didn't get any fixing either, did we? No. Alright. Let's combine the groups. What do they suggest? We need more green than white. I don't know if I like... I think I'd rather do 9-7. I think I'd rather do 9-7 than 10-6. I mean, we actually have quite a few white spells I want to play on turn 2. So let's do 9-7 and the Sliver Hive. And this could disrupt our mana base, but I'm still interested enough with 2 slivers to try it out. I mean, spitting out slivers every turn if you're getting flooded seems pretty reasonable to me. Getting some nice into the battlefield effect or a Death Toucher is pretty powerful. Yeah, so this deck's not the greatest, but it's certainly better than our last draft deck, and I think this could definitely pull a win or two. So try it like this, and we'll see you round 1.